Hello there, I'm Thomas Hatsios, the British American pilot flying the Boeing 777-300ER United flight from Zurich International Airport. We're going to be overflying Zurich, Switzerland, Germany, and then coming back to the Zurich International Airport, runway 1449 Lszh localizer. Landings are now in the cockpit for the pre-takeoff preparation of the Boeing 777-300ER to the PMG simulation and Microsoft Flight Simulator X. I'm going to start showing you the cockpit instruments and displays and the functions of the Boeing 777-300ER airliner aircraft. So I'm going to start with the primary flight display. That displays the airspeed indicator, the ground speed, the airspeed selected from the autopilot and flight director system panel, uh, the radio altitude above the ground level, the magnetic north pole and the true north pole, and the magnetic variation depending on where we are in the world. We have also the barometric pressure of the outside atmosphere, the barometric altitude above the sea level, and the target altitude selected from the autopilot and flight director system panel, the ATS. We have also the vertical speed indicator, the VSI, that displays in tens, hundreds, and thousands of feet per minute the rate of climb and descent of the aircraft. Also, we have the attitude indicator uh, with the pitch ladder increase and the bank angle decrease. We also have the ILS localizer and the flight director crossbars for manual guidance of the aircraft, and also we have the autopilot crossbars for automatic guidance of the aircraft. We have the angle of attack of the aircraft as it flies, and we have the flight mode annunciator with the autopilot and the auto throttle lateral and vertical navigation modes. We have also the navigation display. The navigation displays the airports, the waypoints, the GPS position of the aircraft, the inertial reference position. We have the NP and the RMP, the acquired navigation performance and the required navigation performance. We have the magnetic north pole and the true north pole again. We have the distance in ring nautical miles, and also we have the ground speed of the aircraft, the wind speed direction, and also the next waypoint we're going to be overflying, the magnetic north pole, as I said, or true north pole, and we have the terrain and weather reflection from the weather radar. So you can see the terrain elevations displayed with red, yellow, and green. You can see the mountains, and you can see also the water displayed with blue, like the sea and the lakes and the rivers. So you can see here the navigation display. You can see also we have the transponder, the DSP and DC transponder, transmitter, receiver that transmits and receives our position, altitude, direction, and airspeed, and also receives from other aircraft and displays in the navigation display the warning, and you can see the altitude and of the other aircraft, the difference, and also the heading, and generates the TICA system, the track collision alert system warning. So this is a passive radar that transmits and receives the frequencies of foreign aircraft and other aircraft. So you can see in the navigation display the other aircraft, where they're going. They're headed towards you, and the altitude difference. So we have also the autopilot and flight director system panel, the FDS, that contains the autopilot engage and disengage switch, the autothrottle left and autothrottle right engage and disengage switch, the flight director engage and disengage switch. We have the flight level change with the airspeed select knob, so you can select the airspeed in nautical miles per hour or in Mach speed. We have also the climb continuous and the autothrottle hold with the speed also function, so you can select a maximum climb continuous thrust or takeoff go round, which is fixed thrust mode, or idle descent, which is also a fixed thrust mode, in which the airspeed of the aircraft is being adjusted by varying the rate of climb or descent by giving the necessary horizontal elevator and stabilizer trim orders from the autopilot and flight director system panel to the auto trim system. So we have also the variable thrust modes, in which the thrust has been varied, like the cruise and the approach and landing, while the altitude of the aircraft has been held as constant, like in the cruise level. We have also the LNAV and the VNAV, the lateral navigation, the vertical navigation modes of the aircraft, which are interconnected to the flight management computer. So we're gonna create a flight management computer generated route. We're gonna input the data of the aircraft, like its takeoff weight, the fuel on board, the passengers and the cargo on board, and we're gonna generate. We're gonna select the takeoff runway and airports, and also so we're gonna select the airport we're gonna take off and the runway, and then you can see here we're gonna create a route using the flight management computer, the seats, the starter instrument departure, the intermediate waypoints, and the destination airport and runway. So we're gonna make a complete route flight plan or flight path for later on vertical navigation of the aircraft. Then we're gonna use the thrust levers. After that, I have to show you also in the autopilot director system panel. We have the bang angle of the aircraft limit. Also, we have the heading select knob and the heading hold switch. We have the vertical rate of climb or descent of the aircraft, Then the flight path angle in trigonometric degrees. For the vertical speed in tens, hundreds and thousands of feet per minute. We have the altitude select knob and the altitude hold switch, and the VOR localizer for an ILS localizer approach, or the approach switch for the autonomic function of the Boeing 777-300ER. Then also I'm gonna show you the thrust levers, how you can use the thrust levers to modify and adjust the thrust and the airspeed of the aircraft from takeoff all the way up to the climb, cruise, descent, and approach and landing. We'll show you how to use the auto thrust, the auto throttle disconnect switch, also the thrust reverse, other things like located in the pedestal, like the flaps and the speed brakes, and also the horizontal trim stabilizer of the aircraft. So then I'm gonna come to the flight period of the Boeing 777-300ER aircraft. I'm gonna show you also then the flight controls of the aircraft, the yoke, the horizontal elevator, the control column, and also the other spoilers, the control wheel, and also the rudder, using the rudder pedals, and also we have the steering control for the nose wheel steering. Then I'm gonna come to the overhead panel. I will show you the electrical, the left and the right engine drive and IDGs, the integrated drive generators, the batteries. I'm gonna show you also the IDGs that produce alternate current, 120, 200 volts, 400 hertz frequency alternate current, about 120,000 kilovolts. We have also the backup generators that produce another 25,000 kilovolts each, and we have also the APU, the auxiliary power unit we use for starting the engines in the ground, another 120,000 kilovolts of alternate current. We have also the batteries, direct current 30 volts, 48 ampere hours. I'm gonna show you also the ADIL, the air data enhancer reference unit. I'm gonna show you the flight control computers, the hydraulic system, the left and right engine, hydraulic pumps, electric pumps for the hydraulic fluid, and also the runner turbine, the passenger oxygen. I'm gonna show you the electronic engine control for the engine, the auto start system, the EC that also controls the fire exit fuel authority, the electronic control computers, one installed per engine. We have the turbo fan turbojet engines of the General Electric 90G90 installed in our aircraft, which produce a lot of thrust since they are turbojet engines. We have also the fuel system of the aircraft, the center tank, the left wing and the right wing tank, and the forward and the aft pumps. Also the crossfeed valves and the low and high pressure fuel valves and the fuel booster pumps. So I'm going to show you all the things, and also the fuel cutoff switches for the left and the right engine, the fuel flow towards the engines. I'm going to show you also the cabin pressurization, the wing and engine ADIs, and the bleed air from the left and the right engine, which we use for cabin pressurization, wing and engine ADI, air conditioning and ventilation, and also for the hydraulic fluid pressurization and all these things, and also the APU we need for starting the engines in the ground, the auxiliary power unit, which is installed in the tail of the aircraft, and it's a small turbine. So I'm gonna start now. Again, thank you very much one more time for watching my video. I'm Thomas Hatsios, the British American pilot flying the Boeing 777-300ER in tonight's flight. So I'm gonna start now showing you inside the aircraft, the Boeing 777. So we have about an hour and 3 minutes left for this flight. So you can see here the cockpit instruments and the layout of the cockpit of the Boeing 777, the outside view. So I'm gonna start now. You can see here we have the primary flight display over here. You can see the airspeed indicated, the ground speed, the target airspeed selected from the autopilot and flight director system panel. We have also the ground speed, the radio altitude above the ground level, the magnetic heading and track. You can see the barometric pressure, altitude in inches of mercury, the barometric altitude above the sea level, the target altitude selected from the autopilot and flight director system panel. Also, you can see here we have the vertical speed indicator, the VSI, which displays the vertical speed of the aircraft. So if you climb, the needle will move up towards the positive value. If you descend, it will move down below the altitude level. You can see the flight director crossbars over here. So you can see here we have also the flight mode on schedule with the autopilot and the autothrottle, later on vertical navigation mode, so the pitch ladder in degrees. You can see the climb 2.5, 5, 7.5, 10 degrees, 12.5, 15 degrees, 17.5, 20 degrees for climb or descent, and the Bangago limit in degrees. Also we have the navigation display. You can see the terrain displayed with red, yellow and green, the GPS position of the aircraft, the altitude, elevation and the distance ring. You can see the magnetic north and the true north, and the magnetic or north or variation, magnetic north pole. So we have inches of mercury. You can see also the meters over here displayed. So you can select now. We have the meters for the altitude above the sea level and the target altitude also. Also we have the inches of mercury. We have again the magnetic north over here. So I believe also we can set other values for the autopilot and flight director system panel. So you can see also other aircraft flying around us. We're gonna generate a route here. You can see the GPS position of the aircraft. All this data are being fed and transmitted using this small switch here, which controls the system, the ADIRU, the Air Data in Lszh reference unit. As you can see here in the overhead panel, we have the ADIRU. And this transmits and feeds all the data. You see like the airspeed using the pitot static and the pitot dynamic. We have the altitude variation, the rate of climb and descent, the airspeed. We have also the laser gyroscopes for the attitude of the aircraft, and the GPS receivers for the GPS inertial position. Also the magnetic north pole or true geographic north pole. So we're gonna select different values here for the autopilot and flight director system panel, and we have about we have the autothrottle. You can see autothrottle left off. The warning here, autothrottle left off. We have only autothrottle right. Now we can set autothrottle left on and autothrottle right off. So we have the opposite because we have two autothrottle system. We have the flight director on and off, the airspeed, the flight level change. This flight director turns off the mode you select. So this is compressible here, as you can see. So we're gonna set it the airspeed like this for takeoff. You can set indicated airspeed or Mach and select the mode, climb continuous, auto throttle and Mach and VNAV. So we have the autopilot disengaged here like this. You turn off and you turn off the autopilot. You have the autopilot on like this. So you have the autopilot the warning, and the autopilot is disconnect like that with the red letter. In the brake ascent indication crawler system. So we're gonna select also flight level change speed. We can select the bank angle of the aircraft. The limit heading select again is the pressable. We can just select the mode, heading track, and we're gonna select the runway we're gonna use for takeoff. It's magnetic north heading. So we have also the altitude. Select the target altitude to 5,300 over here, and the hold also the vertical speed. So now we have these three settings which are different than the initial settings with the flight director. Over here we can select also the autopilot on here. So we have both autopilots on, and we have about over here the pilot on, heading, hold, flight level change speed for this target altitude 35,300 feet, and the target airspeed. Reset the autopilot again with the autopilot on now. So we can set again Princess of Mercury. We can select also the localizer and the approach, and we have the vertical speed, flight path angle, as you can see here and here. We can select a negative value like -3.2. Over here you will see the descent request with the pitch ladder. So the aircraft will start the descent from the cruise level like this. Now you select the opposite, which is a climb. You will see again in the autopilot flight director system panel, you will see you see flight path angle, and now you will see the pitch ladder here, the tick mark in degrees, 3.5 degrees of climb request for the autopilot or the flight director with this target airspeed and this target altitude. We have also different heading now. Over here 136 degrees heading selected, magnetic. Again we have over here vertical speed of flight path angle, so we can select the vertical speed now, like a descent -2,200. So it will descend. It will show you the needle over here with the vertical speed indicator, which is the target descent or climb. Now we're gonna set the climb again instead of descent. So select +3,500 feet per minute for this target airspeed, this target altitude. You can see all the modes now. Can you hold vertical speed, and you can see the climb request here. It will climb with 3,500 feet per minute. In the vertical speed indicator, we have also a couple more modes. The altitude hold, now I will select rate of altitude like this, flight director or autopilot on. And also we can select other modes, like again the flight level change. flight level change speed with you. So this is all the modes you need to know. We have also this the control wheel of the aircraft. You can see we have this small button. You can depress it one more time. It will disconnect. You will see the autopilot, the warning, and the autopilot is disconnected over here. So you press one more time the switch and you confirm the deselection, which cancels the warning. So now we have about 50 more minutes left for this flight, so I need to come to the thrust levers over here. So you can see the thrust levers. We can adjust the airspeed by moving. You can see if they are in the idle thrust, and we have the speed brakes. We can extend the speed brakes if we have them retracted. If we extend them and we move the thrust levers forward, the speed brakes retract automatically over here, which is used to slow down the aircraft using the spoilers, extend or retract. So we have also the thrust levers that disconnect over here. The auto throttle disconnect. You press the switch here, so you disconnect the auto throttle like this. You have the takeoff go around. You have also the flap setting, which is to increase the lift from the wings, the surface area. Extend or retract. Now extend, full extend. You will see the flaps request over here in degrees. The landing gear you can see is down over here. So we have also other systems. I told you the speed brakes. We have the horizontal trim. This is the manual horizontal trim stabilizer setting. You can pitch up and pitch down the horizontal tail of the aircraft over here. You see outside, which gives it pitch trim. So a positive or a negative pitch trim. You can also set other things like so you have also the normal and the alternate pitch trim tab. You have over here the aileron trim, so you can set the pitch trim of the aircraft over here. In the green band you can say how much pitch trim you need. We have also the normal and the alternate, the stabilizer trim. So we have a failure over here of the hydraulic fluid system. You can disconnect the C1 or the C2, the air drive and air pressurized hydraulic fluid system. We have also the left engine, right engine. So you set the pitch trim here, and you disconnect if you have a failure of the auto trim or the auto of the autopilot or the auto thrust controlled trim, the electric trim. You can disconnect it and have on the manual. So this is what you need to do. Set these switches to the cutout, and you have only manual pitch trim after. So you can set the manual pitch trim order over here, as I told you, nose up or nose down. We have the parking brakes up and down. Over here we have the fuel flow to the left and the right engine, the fuel control them. The fire extinguishers for the left and the right engine. So we have the fire extinguishers for the left and the right engine, and also we have We have the radio and communication panel. You can see the weather and terrain radar over here. The settings, you can see the communication, the tuning of the radios, and you have also the transponder here. This being DC that transmits and receives our position altitude, and you have the TCAS running over here. So this is a few of the things you need to remember. You can see the TCAS traffic generator. So you see also the altitude of the elevation of the terrain around you. You can see an aircraft now is coming close to us, like 40 nautical miles away. You can see the terrain scan and also the aircraft here with this symbol plus 2,700 feet above us, and right to the front and right position, like 32 nautical miles away from us over here. So we said again the scan of the radar. You can see we have all this is Switzerland, here is Germany, and this is France. You can see also, if we look further away, you will see the seas. So I'm gonna show you now the thrust levers. You can see we can move one thrust lever at a time, having differential thrust like this. So you see one engine is having more thrust, right engine, while the left is to the idle position. So you can set them both the same. You can set the other engine forward in a differential thrust position. So you will see again the warning. You can see we have the differential thrust, more thrust from the right, less thrust, more thrust from the left, and less thrust from the right. So we set both together again. We have also, as I told you, the thrust reverse. If you move these handles up, you slow down the aircraft by deploying the thrust reverse. So you will have the thrust reverse, the warning over here. And you can see the thrust reversers, the block reducers, and the turbofan engine covers are being deployed, open, and also you can see you can retract, and also you can extend, and also you can see the forward position, again retract, and also extend again. And the other side, the turbofan engine, again retract and extend. So this is all for the thrust reverse. You can see the blocker doors, you can see the spoilers. So we cancel the thrust reverse, which also retracts the speed brakes. You can see also we have a couple of things here. We have the alternate gear, the landing gear up and down, terrain override, lock override, alternate gear normal, or alternate if you have a failure of the landing gear system, some flap override. You can see the extent for the landing gear, the speed limit, also the flap limits here, and the auto brake, maximum or ejected takeoff, a couple of settings. So we have the extend and retract for the landing gear of the aircraft. So you can see here, I'm gonna come now to the explanation of the engines. You can see we have the N1, which is a low speed starter in shaft, the low pressure compressor and turbine of the turbofan turbocharged engine, 31.7%. 104.6% maximum continuous thrust, green, yellow and red limits. The exhaust gas temperature per engine, we have the bleeder from the left to the right engine 34 psi, the cabin altitude 140,000 and the total fuel 103,900 pounds with the temperature. We have the N2, which is the high-speed starter and shaft, the high-pressure compressor and turbine, the left and right engine. The fuel flow per engine per hour now is displayed in thousands of pounds. You can use thousands of kilograms. And also we have the oil pressure, oil temperature, oil quantity, and the vibration of the N2 stage of the engine, as you can see. So this is all the indications. You can see also we have the flight management computer here, other stuff. So we have about 23 minutes for these explanations, and so as I told you, we have the General Electric 90 G90 turbofan turbojet engines installed in our Boeing 737-300ER aircraft. One in the left wing, one in the right wing for symmetrical thrust and redundancy. They produce a lot of thrust thanks to their turbofan turbojet engines. We control the engine thrust and the airspeed of the aircraft by modifying the thrust lever's position, the TLA angle, and also by adjusting the autopilot and the autothrottle panel. So you can see here how you can control the engines like this by moving forward and up. The thrust levers, you can see here, we have the N1, the exhaust gas temperature and other data from the engines. So we have turbofan turbojet engine. Each engine has a gearbox that contains the FAREX. The FAREX are the fuel authorities electronic control computers, one installed per engine. Gearbox controls, displays and monitors all the data using the upper and the lower display. Like the N1, which is the low speed starter and shaft, the low pressure compressor and turbine of the turbofan turbojet engine. The exhaust gas temperature per engine, the bleeder and pressurized air pressure from its engine. The N2, which is the high speed starter and shaft, the high pressure compressor and turbine of the turbofan turbojet engine. The fuel flow per engine per hour, thousands of pounds or thousands of kilograms, the oil pressure, oil quantity, oil temperature, and the vibration of the N2 stage of the engine releases. So it also controls and monitors the engine start and engine shutdown process, the fuel flow metering unit, also some valves for the fuel flow and the hydraulic system, and the oil. So we have also it controls the pressure inside the engine. We have an overpressure. You can open up the outflow valves into a higher settings of the fifth and the ninth stage of the turbofan engine blade shaft position, the fifth and the ninth stage. So it can relieve the overpressure from inside the engine. If we have another pressure, you can close it into a lower setting, so it increases the pressure inside the engine. This is also necessary to climb into higher or lower altitudes from the sea level all the way up to the cruise level of the aircraft. The pressure of the atmosphere and the density of the atmosphere, and also is half than that of the sea level. The barometric pressure and the density of the air, and also the temperature is below freezing, like minus 30, minus 30, and we talk about 30,000, 30,000, 40,000 feet above the sea level. And also the oxygen level is a lot lower than that of the sea level, and also this affects the fuel and mixture request every second from the turbofan turbojet engine. So we need to regulate the fuel mixture using these settings. Also the aircraft flies at higher altitude, flies with higher airspeed, like 2 and 3 times faster than that of the sea level, so it will have a higher intake of air into the turbofan turbojet engine for pressurization and then for combustion with the fuel. So the FADEX control and monitor and regulate the fuel air mixture and the fuel flow to the engine. They optimize the fuel efficiency of the aircraft and safety. Instead of doing this manually, you have it automatically using the FADEX, the fuel services electronic control computers. One installed as a result per engine. We have the General Electric 90G90 turbo contributor engines. So one in the left wing, one in the right wing, sports medical thrust and the balance. So that was all for the engine thrust and theory. So I'm gonna show you now. I'm gonna talk to you about the flight theory of the aircraft. So so I will talk to you about the flight theory, how the aircraft, how we calculate the takeoff speeds of the aircraft. Using the flight management computer, we input the takeoff weight, the fuel on board, and also the other things like the taxi and the reserve fuel, the passengers and the cargo on board. This also calculates the mean aerodynamic core position of the forward wings of the aircraft. As in terms of the center of gravity, which generates horizontal trim stabilizer position for takeoff, then for flying, and the center of gravity of the aircraft. Um, so this is helpful for takeoff and then for flying. Also select the flap settings for this given runway we have for takeoff. The runway length, the runway conditions, if it is ice, dry or wet. The wind blowing around the runway, and the direction, the magnitude. Also the barometric pressure and air density and temperature. So this affects the takeoff speed. This is all calculated by the flight management computer. So I'm gonna show you how to do that. We're gonna select 15 degrees of flaps for takeoff. So for this aircraft, the Boeing 777-300ER, for this flight we have about 243,000 kilograms of takeoff weight, or about 521,000 pounds, which is way below the maximum takeoff weight. We have about 30% of fuel on board, or about 46,000 kilograms, or about 103,000 pounds. We also have about 30,000 kilograms of passenger and cargo, or about 46,000 pounds. So in total we have about 240,000 kilograms, or 501,000 pounds for takeoff. Below the maximum takeoff weight, we're going to use 15 degrees of flaps and 4.25 degrees of horizontal trim stabilizer for this mean aerodynamic core position, Mach, and the center of gravity. For this runway, we're going to need to take off at an airspeed of about 154 nautical miles per hour, or 154 knots, or about 270 kilometers per hour. So we need to overcome the stall speed. The stall speed is going to make the aircraft stall and fall back into the ground. We need to achieve the effective lift from the wings as the airflow strikes the wings and pass through them. We have the positive higher pressure below the wings and the negative lower pressure above the wings. I will talk to you about that now, about the flight theory of the aircraft. We need to maintain an airspeed above the stall speed during the whole flight, from takeoff, climb, cruise, and descent and approach and landing. So you can see this in the primary flight display, the stall speed avoidance. So I will talk to you now about the flight theory of the aircraft. So we're gonna come here. So we're gonna come here. You can see. So you can see the outside view of the aircraft. You can see where we are right now. We're very close out to setting up everything for takeoff. So you can see we have the wings of the aircraft over here that hold the total weight of the aircraft as it flies. You can divide the weight of the aircraft over the surface area of the wings. We have the thrust from the forward thrust from the turbofan engines, the forward thrust propulsion. We have also, this is the mean aerodynamic chord position, about 25% of the Mach. We have also this vector. This is the longitudinal vector. This is the lateral vector from wingtip to wingtip. And also we have the vertical vector through the center of gravity of the aircraft. So we have also the moment arm of the aircraft from the center of gravity all the way back to the horizontal tail. So the moment arm is times the distance from the center of gravity all the way back to the horizontal tail over the surface area of the horizontal or the vertical tail, times the airflow of the air mass per second, times the acceleration of the air gravity, and you can have the pitch up and pitch down, and also the turn, the left and the right of the aircraft. So we have directional control for this Boeing 777-300ER turbofan aircraft. We have also, as I told you, the center of gravity. The mean aerodynamic chord position is the position where the maximum aerodynamic lift or the center of pressure, aerodynamic pressure above the wings is being generated. Also is the position where the stall begins. The airflow becomes detached from the wings and the stall begins. So we have, you can see the bottom surface of the wings is much more flat than the top. So the airflow of the air mass as the aircraft accelerates is moving slower below the wing. We have higher pressure, which pressurizes the wings of the aircraft up into the air. Also we have the top surface of the wings. You can see they have a higher curvature, so the airflow of the air mass is moving much faster. So using the Bernoulli theory of fluid of physics, the airflow moving much faster above the wing, we have a lower pressure above the wing, which creates an air suction which sucks the aircraft up into the air. So we have, using the Bernoulli theory of physics again, we use again the physics from Newton's first, second and third law of kinematics of motion and aeronautical and aerospace engineering, and we derive all the principles for the flight theory. Also we have the airflow deflections, using the spoilers for making directional control, and the elevator for climb or descent. So this is all the main flight theory for the Boeing 777. Now I'm coming inside. I will show you the flight controls of the aircraft, and then I will make the engine start demonstrations. I will start with the flight controls. I will show you the side stick, how you control the flight controls using the side stick inside this simulation. So you can see I'm having here the Lszh Extreme 3D. You can see I can move up and move down the elevator. I can climb up the center, and also I can bunker left and right. Also I have the rudder pedals for directional steering left and right. The nose wheel steering over here. So you can climb, you can descend, you can bunker left and bunker right. So you can see the size deflection is proportional to the yoke and the flight controls deflection. We have also the horizontal trim stabilizer. You see over here the position, and we have the thrust levers actuation. So you can increase or decrease the thrust levers like this using this handle over here. Also the speed brakes here. So we have full control of the flight controls like that. So you can see both yokes move simultaneously, proportionally to the side stick deflection, both the first officer and the captain. So we have here, also I'm gonna show you now the outside view of the flight controls, some movement using the side stick and the yoke inside. So you can climb, as you can see, you can descend, Also, you can make turns left and turns right, and bank rolls left and bank rolls right. So this is how you can control the aircraft in flight. Having forward thrust propulsion. Now we come inside, show you the overhead panel, the systems, electrical, the hydraulic, the fuel system, electronic engine control for the engines, the wind and engine alias, the cabin pressurization, the air conditioning, and the ventilation, the bleeder from the left and right engine, and the fluid hydraulic fluid pressurization system. So I'm gonna make the flight management computer inputs, and we're gonna make a whole flight from takeoff to climb, cruise, descend, then approach and landing into this runway. So again, we have about 8 minutes left for this. So we come in this view over here, overhead upper panel. You can see these switches are for disconnecting the fluid in the ground for the hydraulic system, the flight controls. So we have the view of the panels here. A general more wide view. We have the circuit breakers over here for the electric system failure reset. You can see we have we're gonna set the flap position over here 15 degrees, 35, 20, and 15. So you will see the 15 degrees over here. We have also again the speed brakes extend and flat. So we have the view here. The panel, we have also the autopilot, as you can see. So we come here in the overhead panel. You can see we have the Adiro system on. The APU, we're gonna start the APU like this. As you can see, we have the battery, the primary, the APU generator, left engine driving, right engine driving, electric system, the thrust asymmetry compensator, the primary flight control computers, on and off. We have the window sheet, the passenger oxygen over here, the ground proximity, the rammer turbine, the hydraulic fluid, left, right. So we're gonna set off the hydraulic fluid like this. All the systems you're gonna see generate warning, the fault, and you're gonna see all the hydraulic over here failing. Also we have alternate flaps here instead of normal. So we use the stabilizer control the hydraulic pressure, flight controls flaps, no auto flaps, so fuel pump. So hydraulic systems CR. So we reset to the on and then to the auto like this when they start. So this is the hydraulic system, the reset. This is the lighting system of the aircraft, the windshield wipers left and right. We have the electronic engine control here. We have the cargo fire over here, and the APU fire electronic engine control for the engine, normal and alternate, the auto start on and off like this. So we're gonna set the auto start like this. Control source the farex, you can dump some fuel like this, select the nozzles and how much to remain. The sender and the left wing and the right wing, the fuel system, the center tank, the booster pumps, the RDIs of the aircraft over here. This is the cabin pressurization, auto or manual. You have to use the outflow valves and select the landing altitude so the cabin will be pressurized or depressurized. You select the auto as we climb or descend. We have the left engine, the bleeder, left, right, and the APU, hydraulic fluid pressurization, organizing anti-ice and air conditioning. So you're gonna start seeing some failures over here. Bleed isolation close R and left, and the duct pressure decrease. Also the hydraulic pressure, as you can see, demand C1 and C2 also fail. So we're gonna start again the bleeder system from the left and right engine, and from the APU we need to starting the engines in the ground. So this is the main system control. Now we're gonna come here, gonna make the auto start. So we're gonna show you this system here. Display on. The engine, the status, you can see the APU is running, hydraulic fluid, the oxygen. Here the checklist, the normal menu before start, what we need to do. Checklist complete, the normal menu, communications, navigation, synoptics, the doors are closed and the cabin can be pressurized. The landing gear, you can see the pressure of the tires and the temperature of the brakes. The electrical, I show you in the overhead panel, left engine, right engine, the APU is running, and you can see the battery, the main and the APU, the voltage of the battery and the charge or discharge, the backup generator, the hydraulic here, the left engine over here, left engine, right engine, center C1 and C2, hydraulic pressure 3000 psi, primary, where the hydraulic fluid goes. Here is the fuel on board, center tank, you can see it's empty with yellow crosses, left wing, right wing, 51,200 pounds. You can see the low and high pressure fuel valve, and the cross feed is off. The APU also is taking fuel from the left wing using direct current. Over here you can see the left and right engine, the total fuel on board, the minimum fuel temperature -37 degrees, where it will freeze. The air system, left engine, again right engine, the APU is running, that is off. You can see the air from the engine will be increased, it will increase the thrust from the engines. Over here, and the last system to see is the flight controls. You can see I can move all the flight control surfaces to move normal, also the stabilizer trim. So this is for seeing here that everything is working normally, all the systems. So this is all the systems. We go back to the modes, to the engine, virtual cockpit. We're gonna make the auto start now. So this will give a reset over here. So you can see the engine auto start left and the right over here, and the engine shut down. The messages, you can see the pressure from the engines, also there is no fuel flow. So we're gonna start the engines now. You can see there is a low spin from the engines. The pressure increases above 20%. We start the fuel flow control to the on position, so you will see the fuel flow increases, and we have fuel flow increases, and we have the engines, the right and the left wing on. So this is all we need to do. Now we need to set up the flight management computer over here, a couple of stuff. So we have the menu, FMC, the model, the identity, the position for the GPS inertial reference position, the gross weight, zero fuel and gross weight, and the reserve fuel, the cruising altitude, 25,300, reserve fuel 5%, and the cost is 100, minimum fuel temperature, zero gravity. So we have departure airport, destination airport, and departure runway, departure and arrival, this one 4, transfer to Alpha, going back, arrival, listen 4, transmit on Alpha, so we have the legs here, we cancel the discontinuity and we set the flaps in the center of gravity for takeoff, which will give us the trim for the horizontal tail and also will give us the takeoff speed. So we activate and execute, will give us the takeoff speed zone. We select them and we go for takeoff like this. We're ready, so this is all we need to do. Now we have to taxi for the runway over here, and we have like 15 more minutes left for this video, so we disconnect the parking brakes and go for takeoff. We use also the steering wheel here for directional control of the aircraft. So we take the runway clearance and the takeoff clearance. The runway is empty, so we can use this runway for takeoff. As you can see, the runway is empty, so we use it for takeoff. Align with the center line over here. We use this for alignment for the nozzle steering, also the rudder pedals. So we here, parking brakes again. You can set the reins over here. Also traffic, you can see the reins, the terrain, the flight plan, the LNAV here, the flaps and the stabilizer trim are set for takeoff, so we use the thrust over here for takeoff go around. So we all set. You can see where we are, where we're going, like this. We are in the position for the takeoff. So we're gonna take a closer view for the takeoff rotation. So we disarm the parking brakes and go. And we have like 14 more minutes for this flight. Use takeoff, maximum takeoff, 80, 90 knots, 100 knots, 120, V1, we rotate, and we take off. So with the takeoff speed, we have positive rate, we track the landing gear, like this. So we are 800 feet above the ground level, 900, the airspeed is 270 nautical miles per hour, keeps increasing. We are 2000 feet above the ground level, 2200, 4000 feet above the sea level, we climb with 8000 feet per minute. The pitch altitude is 17 degrees and the max speed is 0.44. So we have an overspeed now, and we're gonna climb much faster. So we have the thrust over here. We're gonna start turn. You can see also the data here. So we're gonna start turning for the flight plan. We're gonna use a little bit more pitch trim as we turn. So we climb 9600 feet. The max speed now, you can see we keep climbing, is 0.4. So we need to climb a little bit faster to maintain the airspeed. So this is how we climb out through the Zurich, this airport. As you can see, our position. So this is the Boeing 777-300ER. We fly with about 600 kilometers an hour, about 270 meters per second. Our airspeed right now. We keep climbing. Cross 11,800, 900 feet. So we come now inside. So we keep flying, Mach 0.6. And we have about 11 minutes left for this flight. So you can see also the Zurich here, the airport which have the galaxy, the galactic view. So this is our spacecraft for tonight, the Boeing 777-300ER. You can see the other aircraft. See, it's a nice tail. So we need, come over here. So this is the next waypoint we need to cross through. You can see the data over here. So we need to increase the thrust now. Again. Now we keep climbing. We need to maintain a little bit level for a while. So you can see this is the stall speed warning. I was telling you displayed with the yellow and the red over here for this altitude of the aircraft right now. So we are 33,000. Keep climbing. So we have the France here with Germany this side. You can see the France, you can see the Switzerland, and we have the Germany in front of us. So we have the chemtrails now, the contrails, and the galaxy, the galactic view now. The beautiful view. So you can see the lake here, and also we have the Germany, the Bayern Munich in front of us, and the Bavaria. So we are 33,600 feet above Switzerland, above Germany. So this is our spacecraft for tonight, the Boeing 777-300ER with this chemtrails. So we're going heading to the Germany and the Bavaria over here, the Bayern Munich. So we're gonna make the turn now. We also reach the climb altitude. So we have another 8 more minutes left for this flight. We need to increase maybe the airspeed. And also set the flaps up. So this is the cruise altitude now, 35,000. Over here, 35,000 feet, 300. Over here I'm going to Germany. We're gonna start turning towards our airport. So we have like 8 minutes left for this flight. We cruise with Mach 0.71. We make us turn right now. We need to keep the pitch altitude. So this altitude over here as we cross the Switzerland and the Germany behind us. So we keep cruising. So this is our spacecraft for tonight, the Boeing 777. We cruise with 900 kilometers an hour or 300 meters per second and about 34,800 feet above the sea level. We cross through the Germany Bayern and the Switzerland, this beautiful lake over here. And we keep having the galaxy, so we go now back to the airport. We have also the frozen vapors behind the centers in the country, so we need to steer back to the airport. You can also use the autopilot on like this. So we have about 6 more minutes left for this flight. So now we cruise using the autopilot on over here, and we have the galaxy. So this is our spacecraft for tonight, the Boeing 777 with the frozen vapors cruising through Switzerland and the galaxy again. So now we're going to the airport. Approach REV. So this is gonna steer us in the airport. Also we need to use the altitude change. Flight level change and also a lower airspeed. And the vertical speed. So we're gonna use also the speed brakes like this, standard with trap for this descent here. So we're gonna use this approach reference over here for the line. So we cross 30,000 feet like this, keep descending. We're gonna disconnect the autopilot like this, use the wall lock, and fly manually. We'll decrease the airspeed also. And some flaps. And we have about 3 more minutes left for this flight, approximately 3 to 4. So we have the altitude here of the aircraft as we descend. We're very close to the airport now. We cross 8,000. So we have all the altitude, we have the information from the Lszh localizer. The airport is this way to the left. So we have also the glide slope of the aircraft. So we are much closer. You can see over here we're closer into the ground. Also we need to overcome here this and we have like a couple more minutes left. We need to increase the rate of descent and also make a turn to the left. We use the ailerons again in the spoilers and the elevator to control the descent. So we're gonna level off in a couple of seconds as we are aligned with the runway. So here we are. So we are 10 feet, parking brakes and reverse.